10 crimes that will never be solved. These shocking crimes created more questions than answers. For this list, we're looking at the most disturbing things that people did and got away with and will likely never answer for. Our countdown includes D.B. Cooper, the Zodiac Killer, Jimmy Hoffa's final fate, and more. In today's episode, we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 crimes that'll never be solved. For this list, we're looking at the most disturbing things that people did and got away with, and will likely never answer for. We'll be excluding crimes where the public and authorities disagree over whether the true culprit was found. Number 10. D.B. Cooper. It's not often somebody holds an entire plane for ransom and gets away with it, but that's exactly what happened in 1971. A man dressed in a suit and sunglasses, identified only by the name Dan Cooper, on his ticket, boarded a flight from Portland to Seattle. He calmly told the flight attendants he'd brought a bomb on board and demanded 4 parachutes and $200,000 in cash. Not wanting to risk 40 innocent lives, the FBI gave Cooper exactly what he wanted. The plane landed at Seattle-Tacoma Airport to collect, then took off again, whereupon Cooper parachuted out of the plane and disappeared forever. In the years since, the FBI are yet to conclusively identify him. Number 9. The mystery around JonBenet Ramsey. In 1996, stories spread throughout the United States of a tragic crime. The body of young beauty queen JonBenet Ramsey had been found in the cellar of her own home. Initially reported missing because of a ransom note found in the house, the discovery of her body changed everything. Suspicion immediately fell on her parents, and it was theorized that they could have faked the ransom note. However, there's no evidence to implicate them, and while a few other suspects who had disturbing fixations on Ramsey while she was still alive emerged, the crime scene still had almost nothing by the way of forensics. This has left the case with no conclusive suspect. Number 8. The Tylenol poisonings. 7 people mysteriously passed away from cyanide poisoning in Chicago over a matter of days in 1982. The police found that the victims had one thing in common: they'd all recently purchased and taken Tylenol and had been laced with a large amount of substance. Although the Tylenol bottles were of the same batch, they were bought from different stores. While suspects emerged, there were almost no evidence thanks to a total lack of CCTV, witnesses, and forensics. There was a massive Tylenol recall. The case led to the implementation of a tamper-proof medication packaging to prevent this from ever happening again. The strange nature of the crime, seemingly designed to cause mass hysteria and nothing else, has left it unsolved for decades. Number 7. The Atlas Vampire. Despite the crime's sensationalism and violent nature, the culprit behind a gory vampire-like crime in the Atlas area of Stockholm has never been caught. In 1932, a sex worker named Lili Lindström was found deceased in her apartment, but then she had lost all of her blood. Chillingly, whoever committed the crime seemed to have taken it with them. Investigators also found a ladle with Lindström's blood. This led the police to believe that someone may have consumed it before leaving. This aspect of the horrific crime made the police nickname the culprit the Atlas Vampire. Although it doesn't seem that they ever struck again, this criminal was never caught. Number 6. Jimmy Hoffa's final fate. After disappearing under very suspicious circumstances in 1975, Jimmy Hoffa's body was never been found. The mafia was likely involved in the untimely demise. Hoffa was a prominent labor leader and teamster who was once in the mafia's pockets, but after he got on their bad side, the organization may have come after him. The person who did the deed may have been Frank Sheeran, one of the mafia's most famous hitmen. He reportedly confessed to the murder, although this is disputed. Regardless, the lack of forensic evidence and a body have made it impossible to put this crime to rest. Number 5. Who put Bella in the wych elm? During World War II, a group of young boys made a grisly discovery. There were human remains in a forest in rural England. The police soon found that there were an entire skeleton inside a tree trunk. Although the woman was never officially identified, ominous graffiti asked, "Who put Bella in the wych elm?" began to appear nearby. Theories about the woman, who may or may not be named better, vary significantly. Some people believe that she may have been a German spy and cabaret performer who parachuted into the UK and met a grim end. Others believe that the fact that she was inside a tree means her demise had something to do with witchcraft. Either way, the question the graffiti asks remains unanswered. Number 4. Tupac and Biggie. Within a brief period in 1996 and 1997, hip-hop legends Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls, aka the Notorious Big, were shot in separate incidents in Vegas and Los Angeles respectively. They were both incredibly prominent figures in the famous East Coast, the West Coast hip-hop rivalry at the time. This has led people to blame their shootings on everything from gang violence to corruption in the LAPD. And since Biggie was attacked second, some believe his demise was retaliation for Tupac's. Suspects that emerged in the cases from Creeps member Orlando Anderson to record executive Suge Knight, but the FBI has been unable to arrest anybody for either crime. Number 3. The Black Dahlia. In January 1947, the bisected body of Elizabeth Short, dubbed the Black Dahlia in the press soon after, was discovered in Los Angeles. The grisly crime has haunted the city for decades because despite the high-profile nature of the incident, nobody was ever charged. The most popular suspect for Short's demise today is Dr. George Hodel. Not only is he suspected by many, including his living relatives, but he is also believed to be responsible for more gruesome crimes. The Black Dahlia case may have been spawned copycats like the horrifying lipstick murder of Jean French just weeks later. But then, even if Hodel was responsible, he died in 1999 and could never be brought to justice. Number 2. The Zodiac Killer. San Francisco's most infamous criminal took the lives of at least 5 people. He claimed to have taken 37 in total. Throughout an investigation that took the police all over the San Francisco Bay Area, the only major piece of evidence the authorities had was one sketch. The Zodiac perpetrator is so notorious because he taunted the cops with ominous letters and complex ciphers. And when the texts were decoded, officials got deranged messages that didn't offer much evidence. Whoever the criminal was, he seemed to disappear in the 70s for a mysterious reason. Authorities still don't know who it was. Number 1. Jack the Ripper. One of the most notorious and gruesome criminals in history was Jack the Ripper. He haunted the streets of London for months during 1888. Jack the Ripper took the lives of at least 5 women and may have attacked even more people in horrifying ways. All the victims shared the same adult profession. This may have been why the police at the time didn't do a great job of investigating. Vital pieces of evidence in the case were lost, and since this was the 1800s, forensic science wasn't ready to help. After the criminal was named Jack the Ripper, he later wrote letters to the authorities taunting them for being unable to catch him. He eventually disappeared and left the terrifying case open. Let us know in the comment section below which case you hope will be solved one day.
Thank you for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell for more videos on crime stories, notorious outlaws, and historical scandals.